Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy Freaky Friday. And we hope you had a really good Christmas. We hope you had a good Christmas. We had a great Christmas. It was fun. We accomplished everything that we wanted to do. We had plans and a little bit of an expectation, but nothing too crazy to where if anything changed, we would get disappointed. And I guess that's the big thing about, I guess, the lessons that you could learn for this year or things that you can take into next year is to kind of, it's okay to have expectations. It's okay to want to strive for something or have things go a certain way, but we have to be flexible and know that life has variables and that if we can at least get close to what we wanted, then we'll be okay. But if the expectation is completely unmet and that is exactly what you were wanting, you don't get so depressed about it or you don't get sad. So it's a big thing that we've learned this year. And we're going to apply these lessons into our finances, into a lot of aspects of our life, because interesting enough, guys, the thing about crypto, it's not even necessarily about making money. Crypto, in essence, will teach you a lot about yourself because it's so volatile. There's so many aspects in crypto that you could learn about. And you learn about people, you learn about risk profile, risk tolerance, you learn about your own risk tolerance, and you learn about how strong your will is, really, because this game of crypto is very interesting, and it's not for the weak or faint of heart. So if you're still here right now, out of all that we've been through in crypto, you are going to make it. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. I don't even know what your bag is. I don't know what you're buying, but you're going to make it, because the fact of your belief, and sometimes maybe even a delusion, will get you past the FUD wall, will get you past the ice wall that is FUD against crypto, whether it be quantum computing, whether it be the NSA created Bitcoin. I don't give a crap what it is. You're going to beat that. And we're here to do it together. So welcome, my friends. Welcome. So let's hit that like button, hit the heart button, hit the thumbs up button. Let's reshare this channel, because we are on a mission to get to 4,000 subscribers. We're pretty close. We are 3,922 subscribers away from 4,000. And maybe, just maybe, by the end of the year, we can accomplish this goal. That would be really, really cool. I think that would be a pretty cool accomplishment. And it would be up to you guys, and also me, if I do a good job and I can attract, these people into crypto and watching this channel, that we can accomplish this goal. So let's do it together, and let's stay consistent. And let's just keep continuing to grow with this market, because while other people are quitting and they think crypto is just toast, they'd rather bet on prediction markets. And we're going to talk about this. There's actually a big post that Vitalik just did recently assessing the whole thing of prediction markets and how it's very much a double-edged sword in terms of programming our reality, because now prediction markets are a way of revealing more accountability and truth in what is being posted on social media, and articles and takes from journalists, whether it be someone on the, from the New York Times or the Washington Post or whatever. Like, it doesn't then when you read those things, and whatever it may be, truth or false, you can literally just say, okay, well, I'm going to go to the poly market or the call sheet or whatever it is to then see what percentage is actually playing out with money. And so then that actually is dictating what is happening in real life. And actually, we talked about this months ago when poly market was announcing that they were going to be going in the United States, and then and having a massive investment from New York Stock Exchange itself, that it is going to be a reality programmer, the prediction markets. And that the fact that the NSA and the FBI or the CIA and all these entities are actually using poly market to figure out what's actually playing out, what's going to happen. This is fascinating. So Vitalik is tipped in on this. Vitalik's smart, man. So he knows that the prediction markets right now are very much popular with the people that kind of gave up on crypto. People gave up on crypto and then started sports betting, prediction market betting, and they find that to be more fun. But what quote they don't understand is that it's actually hitting dopamine areas as no different as if you were walking into a casino. So it's just like this. So it's playing on those emotions and turning everyone into gamblers instead of long-term investors built on surviving the volatility. And that's honestly what we want to teach on this channel, is having people not get caught up in becoming a gambler, in a sense, and try to have something that they're long-term, looking outward. They're looking way 10, 15 years into the future to see like what we could be investing in now in terms of network effects and scarcity. So obviously right now, gold and silver, we've talked about, is still going to be a 10, 15, 20-year long-term play investment. Very much so. And also becoming a little more, even more volatile than what the crypto market is right now. Because silver just broke all-time highs. Silver literally is creeping up to $80 an ounce. Spot, it's already being sold at $80 an ounce spot in certain markets because of the nature of the scarcity. So these spot dealers are not playing around. They're like, I'm not going to sell you $73 spot silver right now. It's about to go to $100 an ounce. You're going to get a premium right now. So people are starting to realize that the financial systems, and for a long time, are in terms of fiat cash, are done. It's down. So my intro video, if you didn't see it, is Jerome Powell saying that we digitally print the money. They digitally print the money, so there's way more supply actually that is not accounted for in terms of digitally printing and monetarily fiat paper printing that gets sent to the 12 central federal banks in the United States. That cash is then distributed throughout to the banks and then that's how the actual fiat cash gets distributed out. But then that's not even accounted for as much as what it should be, because they double, triple print over and double spend, which is what Bitcoin's white paper was and whole fundamentals were built on, to not double spend. So the scarcity alone, in terms of that built into the code with Bitcoin versus the monetary systems, where are you going to go? I don't care what's hilarious about what people say about cash in the fiat system and the credit cards and the debt system that we're in right now. You use it willingly every day and don't really question it. You just use it. And there's flaws everywhere. People are saying Bitcoin is controlled and is centralized and it's going to be the whatever, all the FUD that you can say about Bitcoin, that they'll eventually just surveil you and whatever it is. Dude, if that's your problem, you are already surveilled to the max. It's not. Are you think if you don't have a grip on your surveillance unless you are fully off the grid, fully off the grid completely, not using any type of IP, that is not shielded. But so if you are worried about that, you are boxing yourself into a FUD campaign to not invest in network effects that are happening right in front of your eyes. So that's how I see when people say, well, okay, you willingly use the system every day that is built on lies, that is built on triple, quadruple spending, taxing you. But then there is a system that is coming into play now, which is the Bitcoin standard and crypto that you can see supply, you can kind of see the movements. It's transparent in a way that is also a double-edged sword, because then it gets into the privacy, the shielded protocols, Zcash, Tornado Cash, ZK proof, zero knowledge proof technology built into the protocols with the supply that can still at least be tracked proof, but doesn't need to know where the hell it's going. But you can still know how much. So everyone's fudding this system with pointing out the little flaws about it. And you're in a system where there's way more flaws than there are positives, and it's been stealing your money. So where else are you going to go knowing this fact? That is how I'm going into this next year. And my post here this morning is for you to think about You don't get rich in 2026 by buying. You get rich by selling correctly. So, but by 2026, honestly, I think there is going to be still lots of buying opportunities, but there's going to be something that happens in 2026 that I don't think anyone's prepared for. You could say, oh, no one would be prepared for 50K. No, everyone's prepared for 50, 60K Bitcoin. No one is prepared for a $250,000 Bitcoin next year. Not a single person. Everyone thinks it's going to 60K, no alt season, and that's the sentiment right now. So welcome. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're doing well. All right. Let's see. We're going to break this expose. You know what? We're going to break the expose down now. Let's do it. Since there's 1,700 people here right now, we're going to break the expose down. All 1,700 of you. Oh, wrong one. All right, let me. Okay. Okay. So let's see what Bitcoin's price is right now. Let's refresh the BTC ticker. Make sure we got the correct price of Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin's price for Christmas ended at 80, I think it was at like 87,000, around there. So definitely not where it was last year. So we ended last year on Christmas at $94,000. $94,000. So definitely not what we were looking for. But it's funny, I was explaining to my wife as I was ear beating her about the volatility chunks in Bitcoin's price, because I was like, look, Bitcoin was at 25 cents. And if you look at the 4 years or the 5 years after, the price was all over the place. But it eventually kind of like, it didn't matter like if you bought like in the beginning or in the kind of mid portion, eventually through the chunks, it went up insane. And I saw this when I looked at it from Bitcoin's inception to its chunk of volatility that we're experiencing right now. So like, even though Bitcoin went to 126,000 and kind of like this mid chunk of volatility in the block, we're in a 5-year block now, 5-6 year block of volatility with Bitcoin. So what we're experiencing is those uncomfortable downturns that happen with BTC, ETH, and then with ETH, it comes the alts, and the sentiment gets real low. But if we look back in historical patterns, like here, you can see that even though it can get bad, the bulls always outlast and are longer than the bear that happens in the scary part. So it's always, we have these scary parts that make people, and every time it's like, oh, it's over. There's all the FUD that hits the timeline. People are like, that's it, pack it up, guys. But it's just this, like, there's a wave happening here. You can see the arc. It's an accumulation arc. And I think what was really happened is crypto's volatility rate went out the window. Someone explained this and said that before, crypto had more volatility in it in terms of the upside. But what happened is the volatility got chopped because 1010 was a wipeout moment for crypto that took that was used for a long time to possibly prop up a lot of trading volume for exchanges. And so once that got cooked this year, it basically took a lot of the volatility out of the market. And now, and you would think, okay, well, the downside is volatility as well. Yes, but it was just not in the direction that we would want it to. So, but the way that I see these blocks here, we're still going to be playing out for 2026 to be a pretty, just like a pretty interesting price point of where the volatility could come back into the market. I think the volatility will come back into the market still based on having fundamentals, but then the scarcity of Bitcoin going into the next 3, 4, 5 years, and the network effect will start to hit. Because it's funny because the scarcity and the supply and demand for Bitcoin is going to happen the same as what is happening with silver. Silver can't keep up with the demand of what is being demanded for physical supply, not paper. And the same with Bitcoin. There's paper Bitcoin that gets traded on exchanges, just like the futures markets for CME and also for the precious metals markets, paper traders. So we explained this in a video that we broke down with silver. They tried to make futures trading for silver triple the amount to hold contracts. So they made it twice and triple as expensive to hold contracts for futures silver. It failed. It only made the price dip a little bit, and now it's breaking all-time highs. So it's showing that the actual physical demand for silver in the world right now is 30 to 40 times more like past of what is actually in circulation and is not being mined and being refined at a speed of what the demand is. So could this happen with crypto? I believe so. I would much rather bet on it and have a diversified bag of crypto along with physical gold and silver, and you're holding the best performing assets in the world. Silver, gold, crypto. Crypto is going to give you the volatility because it has in the past. And yes, you can try and trade it, but with this type of network and accumulation effect, and I think the undervalued nature of crypto, your best option is to dollar cost average what you understand, what you know, and that will outperform most things, just doing that alone. And so I just think we're on this really interesting arc curve of accumulation. And so I think we're going to get the volatility back. So we're going to get volatility expanding because of the nature of the physical, there's just going to be more demand and people realizing that Bitcoin is a limited supply. It's going to have that same type of accumulation. And hopefully because BTC leads the market. BTC is always going to be leading the market in terms of the volatility and the good times. So Bitcoin starts to pump up. We're going to get the volatility coming back into ETH. We'll get the BTC ratio and the dominance and all that stuff flipping back into going into Ethereum. And that is a lot of the times represented really well with the BTC ratio chart that we've shown on this channel a lot. Right here, the ETH BTC ratio. We're starting to, I think, we're going to get a rotation. So once BTC starts to climb up, then we're going to get some of that BTC supply being sold for Ethereum, because this is what this is represented in, at least with the Binance chart. People using Bitcoin to buy Ethereum, ratioed with Bitcoin. And so our alt seasons that we've had before, 2017, 2021 here, I think that once we're here, you'd be wanting to sell, right? So at any point you had been buying alts or buying stuff, you're kind of you're buying the lows. I mean, so we've had these lows before. We've seen them here. We've seen them here. This was pre 2017 of the massive pump, but you had to be buying to take advantage to then scoop some profits off going into the next run. Same thing here. You had to believe, you had to accumulate when it looked bad and everyone was telling you it's over, and you probably were called stupid, and people were like, wow, you're gonna buy altcoins, good luck. And then if you were that person and you were buying just the absolute destructive lows, and not to say like, because it's all relative, it all depends on what you are buying too, but there are points in the markets where we have seen them personally that even the dog crap starts pumping as well. So it's almost like your chances are ratioed pretty well in your favor if you are just at least at some of the right places at the right time before we get something that goes up like this. Because look, I mean, from that bottom, we had the ETH BTC ratio go up 418%. So you bet your butt that those alts, some of them went up thousands of %, being crypto gaming stuff, DeFi, metaverse, massive speculation things, meme coins, meme communities, Doge, SHIB, all that stuff happened all in this pre movement. It's the same thing here. I'm hearing the same things. It's over. Wow, I can't, all the memes of the crypto investors being on the ground while everything else was getting a Santa rally. Perfect. Good. Get used to that, because that's how it's going to continue to be. You're going to continue to be made fun of, and then you can laugh your way all the way to the bank. So that's how you have to look at it. Because it was like that all through here too, all through here. That hasn't changed. The market is extended, and there's a lot of things going on in the back end that we probably still don't even begin to understand. But I think that aspect of what I just explained has not changed. You'll get Ben Cohen making you feel bad for giving alts a chance. He's like, so many people have held on to worthless altcoins for so long on the elusive promise of alt season. He says, as the alt season calls get quickly pushed out to 2026 after they failed in 2024, 2025, just remember that the way to build true wealth is to buy good assets and hold them long term. That is true, yes. That's what we're trying to do. But to say that everyone was just buying worthless altcoins, they're all worthless. Everything is worthless. All right, so let's point out this real quick Vitalik observation. Vitalik Buterin champions prediction markets over social media. Says this is what he said. He warns of risks like Polymarket beat social media at revealing true beliefs, as bad predictions cost money. So, and foster accountability. He warns of risks like hyperstition, where heavy bets from big players could shape real events, because then if someone wants something to happen in a certain way, they're going to wager a crap ton of money on that. So then it actually makes it happen in real life. Crazy. While praising their truth-seeking edge over hype-filled posts, with platforms surging in 2025, Polymarket hitting billions in volume and a $9 billion valuation after a $2 billion investment, the debate weighs their power to price lies against potentials for manipulation and hurting and basically shaping reality through prediction markets. Pretty crazy. So yeah, he said, so my general view is, in theory, it creates incentives for people to cause harm by making it easy to profit. But small scale markets over large scale events are not like this. And many of the downsides of PMs are replicated by regular stock markets. E.g., if you are a political actor with the cause disaster button, then you could be motivated to press it simply by shorting all the stocks, which have far higher volume than the prediction markets in terms of what it is. So the benefit they provide is that they are an environment for expressing your opinion on these topics that favors truth seeking. The thing is, to compare them to social media, which is interesting. I didn't really think about it like that until I read this, and I was like, oh, it totally is, because like mostly when you go on social media, you're hearing viewpoints and opinions and not necessarily direct facts or actual factual things from like, or someone said, well, this blah, blah, blah happened. They might be getting mad or saying something about an article that wasn't even true at all. And then that gets memed or repeated or reposted. And then the truth gets obscured because it's someone's opinion. But then now it's literally like people are betting money on Maduro is going to be out by December 31st, 3%. So no, it's not going to happen. So this changed. So wait, there's a 50, so it says Maduro out by December 31st, 2026. There's a 56% chance. So, I mean, yeah, so like it's the 26th. I don't think unless all of a sudden there's a massive spike in this December 31st starts hitting at 56% and starts challenging this one, then that means something already has happened, and there's going to be some announcement that Maduro all of a sudden is getting like thrown out, and there's all the stuff with the with Venezuela starts escalating, or I don't know, something crazy. But then you could see that with everything else. That's how it could basically shape the narrative that's actually happening. It's pretty wild. That's wild, guys. I don't know if you've thought about this. I've been thinking about it because someone posted that they talked to a 22-year-old. And this 22-year-old said that crypto isn't cool anymore. That crypto, for people that are in their 20s, that's like they're not interested in it. They're way more interested in sports betting and prediction markets. And I laughed. I thought it was funny because, for one, I'm not going to listen to a 22-year-old of what they think is cool, for one. That's one thing. That's why I laughed, because a lot of people were like posting and reposting, and I'm like, why are you trusting a 22-year-old of what they think is cool? I would trust someone who's in their 30s right now to know actually what's cool, because we've been through the shit. We know the cycles, we know the trends, and I think you should trust us. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, I laughed and said, "That's funny. Crypto is cool. You just don't know. How to use it." I'm like, have you seen Ticker Bitcoin? Have you even seen that? Have you even seen the website? And you don't think crypto is cool? Have you looked at the NFT space right now with Beeple? Did you see how people were so enamored and fascinated by the stuff that was happening in Miami? No, so they're not looking at that. They're betting prediction markets. Sorry, but that's not. It's crypto is cool. Yeah, spoken like a true old person. Yeah, I'm like a 20. I'm not gonna listen to a 21-year-old. They don't know shit. Give them 10 years. Give them 10 years. The attention span is too short to know what is cool right now. No. But no, you guys, I hope you know I'm tongue in cheek in here. But I just thought that was an interesting viewpoint. You know, oh, crypto isn't cool anymore. I'm like, well, wait till it is. wait till it is. He will take that back. They forget that the prediction markets were built on crypto. Poly market. They don't even. But I digress, my friends. I digress. Okay, let's keep going through some stuff here. Base is really trying to encourage people to base post. So if you don't know what's happening right now, there's also a whole entire narrative of tokenizing social media. And so we have Zora, we have the Base app, which you can turn on earnings for a post that creates a smart contract on the Base network when you create it. So it can be a video, it can be a picture, content media, whatever it is. It can be this picture if you want it to be. And then you turn on earnings and it mints it as an asset. This hasn't really caught on yet, but this is what Base is really, I think, they're betting on the Zoomers and that 22-year-old to come in and start Base posting. And I think they're trying to put money behind it. They're gonna, and they have prediction markets, okay, also in the Base app and then in well, I don't know if it's in the Base app specifically, but it's on Coinbase now. So now Coinbase itself has the prediction markets, has stocks. Everything is trying to become basically a super app and also a social media tokenizing like powerhouse. So it's going to get interesting because it's not really caught on. It doesn't have like millions and millions of users doing this right now. It's like it's like a handful compared to people that are sports betting. Like if you think about Hard Rock Bets, oh my God, it's $1 billion. It's billions of dollars of volume and trading and people losing their money. And by the way, we looked at the figures. The win to lose ratio is so bad. So while it's being pushed by everything, everywhere for you to sports bet or prediction bet, the win rate is 10 to 15%. The lose rate is 80%. 80% or more people are losing. So it's not all what it's cracked up to be. And the difference is that when you buy crypto, okay, and you buy crypto, you have it on chain, okay? The only way you lose is if you sell at a loss. You ever think about that? No, you don't. The only way you lose is if you sell at a loss, okay? If you sell at a freaking loss. That's how you lose. But when you lose in a prediction bet or a sports bet, that's it. It's 50-50. It gets ran down to a 50-50 chance, and then you forget the fact that there is rigs and there's people and there's basketball players that are like going like they do this pass where they're like, or they accidentally trip or something, and you're like, what the hell was that? Yeah, it's called getting duped. It's called a lot of money is being wagered on a particular person to win or lose. Okay. So think about that before you think when you're sports betting and the chances. Or you can buy an asset And whether it's a good one or not, that's not up to me to decide for you. That's your job. You you only lose if you sell it. And then so getting these people to stop the scratch offs and the sports betting and turning into gamblers and screwing up your brain, you could literally hold a basket of assets that are on a blockchain that the only way that you lose is if you sell at a loss. And if you're willing to hold and not be goldfish brained, you might be able, not guaranteed, you might be able to take some profits. And what do you know? It's on a blockchain that has DeFi capabilities that you can swap into anything you want and put it anywhere you want to put it. When the masses realize this, it's over. It's freaking over, my friends. So you're getting psyoped right now. So if you don't realize this, you need to realize that you're getting psyoped. Stop betting. Buy the stuff that's on chain. And watch when thousands of people do this, we win. I'm not the only one saying this. Richard Hart is saying the same damn thing. He's still saying the same thing. He's like, I can't believe. He's like, I could believe it, but he's like, all the people that quit crypto are now got psyoped into sports betting. So unpsyop yourself, and this is a message to anyone who's new, who's coming off the fog of sports betting. Come buy some dog coins. Come buy some frog coins, hold them in your wallet for a few years, and let's celebrate the fact that we just learned something together. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Okay. So, how's everyone doing? I need to do a little check-in. How are you guys doing? Are you doing okay? Is everyone okay? Either it's super quiet and people are still on vacation and just kind of trying to relax after Christmas, or they're just not wanting to. They're not wanting to push the algo button on me right now. All right, we're gonna finish the expose here, and we'll be ending the live stream in about 5 minutes. All right, Jason Crypto said he's doing great. Jason Beats. Hope you're doing well. Kuzim. All right, you're here. All right, let's go. See, this is the thing. You guys, the people that continue to come to this live stream, I don't even think you realize how rich you're going to be. You just don't. Oh my gosh. If you're not already rolling in it, you're going to be so rich. Like the fact that you guys are here and you're watching crypto content, you're here with me. I see you, and you're going to be massively successful with everything that you're doing. And 2026 is going to be your year. Feel it. I can feel it. Okay. So this is kind of like the outlook here for BTC is the expectation As volatility expands, not contracts, price discovery slows, then becomes erratic, large percentage moves down and up, narrative-driven pumps, institution, sovereign adoption, macro pivots. So we've kind of seen a lot of that already. And it's what BTC is likely doing is just kind of choppy highs, violent pullbacks that are going to test our patience, the 20, 35, 40%. Bitcoin right now is in a 35% pullback. ETH is at a 45, 50% pullback from all-time highs. You're going to hear all the people squeaky wheels. This is when the squeaky wheels come out and they're like, you know, and they don't listen to them. They can quit. Let them quit. Sentiment swings extreme. BTC to 1 million versus cycle is over. Yeah, I'm going to bet that BTC is more likely to go to 1 million than it be going to 0. Look at the track record. Look at the asset appreciation accumulation ranges, and it's very much apparent that this thing isn't really going anywhere. And the ETH expansion, this is what is going to be very much the freaking sound and the smell. The sound and the smell from the timeline when Ethereum goes to 10K is going to be laughable, and it's going to be soundbiteable, and you're going to be hearing banshee screams that you've never heard before in your entire life when every single thesis of a ETH bull on memes and ETH alone is going to come true. And then Benjamin Cohen's going to have to make a video saying, I was wrong. And the world is going to heal, I think. I think it might heal. The pansies that I constantly hear on my timeline. I can't wait. Cannot wait. The accumulation here and the setup that's happening with the ETH BTC rotation phase that we've talked about is insane. It is going to be ridiculous. ETH is the liquidity bridge. It has become the liquidity bridge for the banks, okay? Through the layer 2s, and the banks know that ETH has been developing privacy for years. And so, because all you hear sometimes is the negative stuff about ETH and people making fun of Vitalik and stuff like that, and then you see Charles Hoskinson being petty, and he's like, oh, why would you should just, buy Cardano. Instead of actually being interoperable, like, and being nice with Ethereum, he's just running his mouth. And all the while, he does midnight, probably makes his buddies a lot of money with the getting it up to, 181. He's like, oh, look at the volatility. We couldn't do anything about it. We couldn't do anything about the volatility. Okay. But yeah, you don't see Vitalik coming on the timeline and crying and complaining like Charles Hoskinson does constantly, like a soap opera. Vitalik's just getting to work. So that's what I think. So wait, just wait. I can't wait. The smell and the sound, it's going to be atrocious. So the altcoin reality in 2026 is it's look, that we're in extreme desperation. No one thinks it's happening. Okay? But I think some coins are going to probably do a 10 to 50x. But then there are going to be some that never recover again. And this is what is going to be the tricky part. Merry Christmas. We got Steve Fickey in the house. Merry Christmas to you as well. But the liquidity is going to rotate, I think, kind of fast. It just sucks because it's not, when we get these volatile rips like the God candles and the euphoric times, it's like it only lasts a couple weeks sometimes. And then you get consolidation, and then sometimes it can go sideways for months. And then all of a sudden it freaking pops again. And at that point you gave up, you quit, you sold your bag too early. Maybe you sold the whole bag because you got scared. I don't know, whatever it is. But that happened to a lot of Bitcoin people because they weren't able to like forward think enough. They were just like, hey, I got to survive right now. I don't know what the heck's going to happen. This thing is so speculative. Hey, we're past that speculative argument now. Crypto is not speculative anymore. It is just now which networks are going to be used the most. That's it. Like, what network is going to be used the most that's tied to a token that's going to get liquidity, and then you just value proposition the on the chain is the same as what we do with the stock market. Everyone was valuing up Nvidia way up because they're the GPU chip processor to be able to power the whole freaking narrative of AI. It's the same with crypto. So the winning narrative examples is AI and crypto are synonymous. You can't have one without the other. They want AI to power financial systems as agents doing the work so we don't have to do it. We don't want to rely on humans. We make humans rug pull people and steal the money. AI is going to be programmed to just do the thing. Okay? So gaming and consumer crypto, that's going to be huge. Everything is going to be tokenizable and owned as in-game assets on all games. GTA 6 is going to be the example and the Pandora's box of tokenization. That's why do you think they're pushing it back so much? They know if they released it too soon when crypto is at its worst sentiment ever, it's not gonna work. They are going to literally release GTA 6 with tokenization in game right when Jerome Powell's coming in or out and the new SEC chair. Rates are down, STEMI comes out, and you get the biggest freaking spoof. You heard it here first. Everyone's so stupidly bearish that they can't even see what's right in front of their freaking face. This is the setup. It's gonna get pretty freaking crazy, guys. So just be prepared. Just know that the biggest FUD attacks come before the biggest runs. That's all I gotta say. We were in, I think at this point, we were kind of like, we've gone from, look, if you look at this is basically the cryptocurrency, total cryptocurrency market cap. Like we came up and we were just euphoric. I mean, we were euphoric. And then we kind of we did get into anger, depression. We're like, wow, and we've basically gone into disbelief of anything, and then hopefully we get back up into this portion. But yeah, we're basically in just like the psychology of just like, yeah, it ain't happening. It's not happening. That's funny. The top signals, everyone becomes a trader, long only mindset, disbelief and downside. It says smart money playbook for 2026. Sells into strength, scales out emotionally, rotates into BTC stables, protects capital for next cycle. And then what retail does, buy breakouts late, chases influencers, refuses to sell the winners, round trips life-changing money. Yeah. All right, well, make sure you guys hit the like. I appreciate it. And oh, and if you'd like to, we are so close, guys. We are so close to getting to our goal. We've been trying to accomplish our goal of buying a Sproto. So we want to buy Sproto, and they're like the cheapest they've been right now. And we're like $300 away, I think, from being able to buy our first Sproto, like our first on-chain Sproto. And it was awesome. Someone actually purchased these NFTs. They're the ordinal eyes. So if you haven't seen this collection, it's really cool. If you're bullish Bitcoin and you like trippy psychedelic art, this collection is for you. And if you've never purchased an NFT, this is a great like first NFT purchase. Very cost efficient. You know, they're like $29 or something like that. And they're super cool. So actually the recent items that sold were these top sales this week right here. See that one. And back, you can see this one, and you can see if you go through, there's rare traits, full iris trait, trees is a nature trait. We have the trippy eye, we have a full iris trait, and we have different levels of the NFT. So once these actually start to circulate and they actually build their own kind of value over time, some of these traits could become very rare. Like, for instance, we have one like this one has the duality. So it's got the duality split. So we got like crazy fire on the other side, like, you know, world splitting, the sun and the moon, and then gemstone. We got the gemstones in there. I mean, there's a lot of really cool stuff. You can like just really look into these and start to discover some things inside of them. They're really cool. So make sure you guys buy these because look, there's only 80. There's only 80. And this is the only collection of these that I will do of this. So that's it. Once they're sold, they're sold. So if you want to get a NFT for a friend or something, or you want to just have one to add to your collection, this is the one to do it. Make sure you check it out. Yeah, I want to get one of these. I want to get one of the Sprotos, and I am gonna get this one. This one is the one I actually want to buy because it's the one that's my freaking profile picture. So I'm gonna make an offer for it. I think the top offer was $488. So, and I think the collection floor right now is $552. So if I offer $500, that beats the top offer, and I think they'll sell it to me. I think they'll do it. So yeah, be a Chad and buy a Bitcoin ordinal eye. Yay. Let me get on the chat on here. So yeah, be a Chad and buy a Bitcoin ordinal eye. Let's go. I'm like, where are the NFT people at? Like the NFT people on X are supposed to come out in droves. They're supposed to be like so bullish NFTs. Dude, yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't send a super chat because then YouTube is going to tax it and they take like half of it. But if you buy my NFT, you get a cool NFT and you're supporting me directly. And then I'm literally putting it right back into the NFT space to part of the culture. So it's all like sick. It's all going in cycles. You know, it's all being recycled. But if you send it to YouTube, you know they're going to take a piece. They're like, give me that. They're like, ooh. They're like 15% of your super chats. And I'll tax it. They're like, don't mind if I do. Yeah, this is crazy, man. So like being in crypto right now is I can imagine it's depressing. S&P futures trade at record high as precious metals surge accelerates. I mean, this is insane. Like to be in crypto right now, it hurts. That's why people are quitting. They're like, dude, and what's funny is they're all going to go run and try and go buy stocks at the all-time highs and gold and silver at all-time highs. And then what they're going to end up doing is FOMOing back into crypto when it's good again. And it's like, dude, guys, we got to stop doing this to ourselves. You're chasing narrative and FOMO so hard. And it's like, I get it now. It's like, we could either do that or we could just continue to believe in crypto when it's bad. Because we've seen where if we were those same people back then with what we know now, oh my Lord, we would be in such a better position. But it takes getting knocked a cycle or two. Like, we came in fresh January 2021 at some of the peaks of what was happening with BNB season, coming off the ICO season, off the altcoin season that happened, Bitcoin going down, like COVID, all that stuff. And we had to learn through a lot of black swans, a lot of, euphoria, all kinds of stuff happening. So it's like, when you get through that point and you are still here in crypto, despite all of that, we've got to know that Benjamin Cohen's freaking wrong, and we're gonna continue to believe. Because damn it, if no one else, if we don't do it, everyone's just gonna say, oh, I guess if you're an altcoin developer, quit. Oh, if you want to buy altcoins, quit. It's like, okay. I can't wait for my account to go to hundreds of thousands of subscribers because I stayed. That is what I can't wait for. If there's any stupid clout that I would probably want is the fact that I just didn't quit, because when so many people are quitting, I'm going to outlast them. And so that's it. I'm going to outlast you. I will outlast every freaking influencer, KOL, whatever the hell you want to call them. Go buy stocks at all-time high while crypto's sitting at the lows, and we've seen it before in the lows. And then, so that is what we're here to tell the masses. All right. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We're going to be mining fiat. We're going to be mining fiat all weekend. We got a busy weekend, so we're going to, in the spirit of crypto, we are going to be putting that fiat cash into crypto and into NFTs and putting our money where our mouth is. Because if we are going to do this, we're not going to continue to be like, just continuing to give hope to that old system while there's this amazing thing right at our fingertips that we could create businesses around and do all kinds of cool stuff with it. I want to be at the forefront bleeding edge culture of what I think is going to be the setup for the next 10, 15 years. I do not want to be quitting and being on the sidelines and thinking, damn, I knew it. I felt it. That would really mess me up. I think I would go into a loony bin if all of these things that I was doing right now ended up becoming true, even just 60% of it, and then I just gave up. Oh my God. I could see it now. Put me in a straitjacket. I'd lose my mind. I would lose it. No, sir. So I'm not letting that happen. Nope. So I'm not going anywhere. I'll see you next year. Peace out.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system.